Joining us is John Zeng, the Director of JD Power Asia Pacific Forecasting in Shanghai. Many thanks indeed for joining us this morning, John. If I can ask you, first off, again, my experience in Hong Kong so far, the Chinese don't buy second-hand cars, they buy new ones, and the new ones they buy are pretty luxurious.
Yes, that's why even in this year we see the China market is a little bit slowed down. We focus the overall market is around 8.2%, but the luxury car market we expect still can achieve about 35% growth rate for this year.
What about Chinese car launches themselves? Anything that's really grabbing the Frankfurt Motor Show attention?
Yes, I think there's lots of attention from Chinese media. So you look at the major website and newspaper, there's lots of news and media release from the Frankfurt Auto Show. I think particularly people are interested in those luxury cars. I think it's most interesting for Chinese consumers that, for example, the luxury car, the Maserati launched the SUV, and we see that other German big three, they launched some new technology on the luxury brand itself. So we see that the new energy vehicle technology being widely used in the luxury car manufacturers. So I think that's a part of the efforts by the German manufacturer, which is they're under big pressure from the European CO2 emission standards. I think we see a trend for Chinese luxury car markets, which will be more green.
So interesting, therefore, that you think that the car makers in Germany, etc., are actually designing their cars for the Chinese consumer. Is that developing right now?
Yes, I think if you're looking at the European car makers, they are particularly important for Chinese import cars. We compared the data. Last year, China total import from European account for about 42% of total China import cars. But this year, it's increased to 47% of the total market. And we can see that SUV accounts for over 55%. Of the total imports. So whatever the technology being used by European car makers will have a big impact on the future China luxury car market in the future. Yes.
We hear talk about the electric car being launched in China again. Clearly you mentioned SUVs, you mentioned the luxury cars there. They are very much in demand. Do you think that the electric car stands a chance, therefore, against this huge demand for the luxury section?
In our view, yes, because if we even look at today's the luxury car market share in China total market, it's only about 5%. But in a mature market like US, they can achieve as high as 15–16%. So there's still large gap between the China market and the US market. Plus, we do see that there's still huge potential for luxury car price to cut in China. Because if you compare the luxury car price in China with US market, you can see China probably about 50 or even 100% more expensive than the US. So that means Chinese consumers, the affordability here is actually much higher than the US.
John, it's a hard question, but of all the models, of all the cars in the world, particularly clearly from Germany, I mean, which one do you think that the Chinese consumer is particularly excited by right now? Which new model launch, which brand, Porsche, Rolls-Royce, Lamborghini, etc.? Which one of those do the Chinese really want to see come to China?
I think if you're talking about the models or which one got the most potential volume in Chinese market, I would say the Maserati, the new SUV. We see that Porsche launched Cayenne in China, which totally changed the Porsche portfolio in China. Over 90% of the sales in China come from the Porsche Cayenne. So the Maserati new SUV, Coupang, I think there's a high possibility to achieve the similar success in China.
John Zeng, many thanks for joining us. John Zeng, the Forecasting Director from JD Power Asian Forecasting.